Good morning, Erie. Thanks to your support, I'm glad that I'm here again with the candidate Michael Keys, veteran union member again and alumni Michael Keys. We're here again to ask you to make a show of support this coming November election. Number 3 on the ballot, Michael Keys.
Good afternoon. I'm Michael Keys. I'm the Democratic nominee for City Council. And first, I'd just like to thank all of my supporters, everyone who supported me in the May primary, whether it was financially or with sweat equity or any other type of support. And most of all, the voters. We could not have gotten to this juncture without the voters. So I'd like to thank you again, and I am humbled that you trust me enough to move me forward.
Now, Mr. Keys, obviously this has been a little bit of a journey for you. I trust that everything certainly seems to be coming together. If you had to say one thing about your experience, if you had to just make a statement to the people about how you feel about getting the support and getting where we are now, you're number 3 on the ballot for the real deal to get you here on City Council, what would you say to the people?
Well, I would, 1, thank them again, and 2, that we are optimistic that with their help, we can make this a reality, and I will be seated this January on City Council.
Great, great. Now, I mean, you have made several points about why you're seeking this position. And if you could give us a little bit about your feelings about citywide neighborhood revitalization.
Definitely. That's one of the 4 points on my platform is citywide neighborhood revitalization. In the Refocus plan, there's a plan there for building the core of our city, and we have to do this. We have to make these neighborhoods desirable, so if people who they may attract from outside or people who would like to relocate to our city or just move around in our city have choices and have places that are safe and that are nice.
So you mentioned this before, how your intention is to help Erie become a city of choice. I understand as a homeowner and a father who has raised children in this area, you have some definite opinions about that. What would you say to the people about that process and about being involved in that?
Well, I can't take credit for the city of choice, but I am buying into a larger platform. But I believe that a city of choice, well, I want Erie to not just be a city of choice, I want Erie to be a world-class city. And there are certain challenges to making this city a city of choice and a world-class city.
So you've spoken before about jobs that pay a livable wage. Do you feel that's something in this environment where we are receiving all these different financial methods of support for development in Erie? One of your points is making this city a place where there are jobs with a livable wage. What would you say to the people out there about what you can do to help support that on City Council?
Well, most definitely. Within the purview of economic development, do anything we can to, 1, attract people who want to pay a livable wage, and 2, incentivize them paying a livable wage. There's been downward pressure on wages, hourly wages, since the 80s. And there's a study out that shows Erie, Pennsylvania's wages categorically almost across the boards pay less than all the other major municipalities in the state.
Well, I know, you witnessed the situation at Wabtec firsthand, and as a union member and going through that whole process and being a leader, a security leader there. What would you have to say about these times and these challenges for people and our need to ensure that Erie serves everybody in some way?
Well, like you said, it was there were tumultuous times at the business where I work, but it just goes to show that if there is not, the will of the people to insist that companies pay a livable wage, then it is going to be very, very hard to rebuild this city. Because if companies can roll back the wages to 50% of what they make now, everyone suffers. The car dealerships, the realtors, the real estate businesses, even the supermarkets and the clothing stores, if people have less, spendable income, disposable income.
Right. One of the other topics you're really passionate about is inclusion in city employment and contracts. Is that something, as a homeowner and whatnot, and just seeing all the development happening here, what makes you so passionate about making sure that there's inclusion there? I mean, we are a very diverse city, but in inclusion, you're really talking about everybody, right? What makes you passionate about that?
Well, one, it's one of the hallmarks of a city of choice, inclusion, and we kind of have a twofold problems in Erie about groups being left behind. But without going into groups, we are leaving behind a large segment of Erie's population. And so if they don't qualify for the jobs of the future or the jobs that we intend to bring to Erie, we need to find a way to train the people who are already here to take those jobs so that we can build our city and that we can continue to keep our young people in our city.
I know you to be a firm supporter of the community college, and I think that speaks to that passion you have for making sure that everyone is included and has an opportunity. And that also speaks to the need to have transparency, not only in all government, but the city government as well. And I think that you're someone who's considered a very trustworthy person who wants a connection across all levels. When you talk about transparency, how does that work? What does that look like in what we're seeing now and where we could be as a community, and the type of leadership you wish to provide for the people of Erie?
Well, transparency in government is critical to us having an informed electorate and an informed residency. And so we have to make things easier for information to get from the administration down to the council and out to the people. And if I'm going to be a good council person, I need this residents to know what's going on so they can advise me on what they would like to happen.
Oh, that sounds really good to me. Veteran, Gannon alumni, union member, Michael Keys. Please vote Michael Keys for City Council, number 3 on the ballot.
Yes, I most definitely would like to have your support in any way that you can, and definitely your vote on November 5th. I'm number 3 on the ballot, and I'm thanking you in advance. Thank you.